I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars. Like turning the crank handle on a vintage car, my colleague having a little difficulty getting going this week.
Yeah.
You've got it again, haven't you?
Yeah, you could say that. I've landed myself with COVID again.
You have.
So that's good. Yeah, I'm here. I'm a bit dazed and confused and a bit croaky, but I'm here.
Not entirely firing on all cylinders, to continue with my vintage car analogy there.
Yeah, some additional cranking required.
Yes, I think so.
Although none of that, I can't be asked for that.
Oh no, not that. No. Don't do, no. I'm convinced that's not a thing. Anyway, but let's not get into that.
No, it's not a thing. It's certainly not. I just want to have a nap.
Yeah, that's all you want, isn't it?
That's all I need at the moment.
Yeah. It's not even fashionable to have COVID anymore. I don't know why you're bothering.
No, that's the problem, isn't it? No one cares.
No one cares anymore. No, it's old news now.
No, but you'd be surprised the people that they don't have any sympathy for it, but they go, "Don't you fucking come near me." Right?
Yeah, there's a
lot
of
no sympathy for it, but you don't want it. So that's good. I mean, I don't need sympathy. I just need it to fuck off.
You just need it to go away, really, don't you? Yeah, it's far too busy for this.
Yeah.
Yes, all this nonsense can go away. However, you're here, and for that we are very grateful, and I'm sure all our dear listeners, should we have any, will appreciate the effort.
Oh yeah. This I'm definitely taking one for the team here, aren't I? So yeah.
Oh, well, something like that. Maybe that's how you got it. I don't know.
Maybe. That is still a mystery. Not really been anywhere. Not really been near people. No one indoors is ill, and yet Knobhead here has got it.
And there's Grandad in the corner.
Yeah.
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad.
It's really shit. It's just a state to get in.
It's who knows where it comes from, but there's still unofficially quite a lot of it about, I think.
Yeah, well, I was feeling a bit rubbish, and I thought, well, we've still got a cupboard full of tests, so I'll do one.
Well, yeah, I mean, all our vaccines will have worn off now, and of course, and we can't get them anymore. So we are too young. Which I know that doesn't feel like that.
Doesn't really compute the way I'm feeling at the moment. No. Although, actually, I could probably get the vaccine. I didn't really think about that. Yeah, because I've had pneumonia. I'm at higher risk.
Well, of course. Yes, you probably could.
Yeah, I probably could if I'd have done any of the paperwork.
Bit late now.
The horse has definitely bolted.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So you're going to be you're with us in spirit.
I'll chip in with some nonsense.
Oh, please do. I'd like to kick off by talking about DeLoreans.
I see. I think I know where you're going to go with this, but
you might know where I'm going to go. It doesn't take a lot for me to want to talk about DeLoreans. To be fair. No. It comes up a lot, and I can go on about it. I could fill the whole hour with just that.
Oh yeah,
if we wanted.
Yeah, no bother at all.
However, I've been reading about a company in Oxfordshire called Electrogenic, and they are. You may have seen the article. They are. Yes, they can provide a complete plug-and-play, drop-in, reversible EV powertrain for the DeLorean.
Yeah, not to be snubbed. There's a lovely bit of work.
There's a lovely bit of work gone into that. It's lovely engineering. I can't imagine anyone would want to reverse it in this case.
No, it's a weird one, isn't it? Oh, please, can I have the shite engine back?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's the engine that should never have been used in the first place. That's the thing, isn't it? It works so well with the DeLorean because the DeLorean is not about its engine.
No.
the engine was very much its weak point, in fact. So removing it makes it a much better car. That's where classic EV conversions really works.
Oh yeah, it really comes into its own now. So is the gubbins in this from something else, or they made their own stuff? What's the gist?
They say it's entirely proprietary. So it is their own thing. Now, whether the individual components are their own, I would be surprised if they were. They're quite a small company. They've said that it's OEM grade batteries. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that means. Surely they're all OEM grade batteries, because OEMs are using batteries from lots of different sources. So I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
It will have a 43 kilowatt hour battery if you have it done. They haven't quoted a range or anything like that. They also haven't quoted a price, interestingly. But they're using a 160 kilowatt hour motor, rear mounted single motor, so it'll be rear wheel drive, as indeed is the original, but considerably more powerful than the original. 310 newton meters of torque. And quite a light system. So they haven't expressly said it's their own powertrain in terms of the layout. Whether the individual components are their own, I imagine they're not. They're going to be bought in, aren't they?
I thought so.
But CCS rapid charging, which is nice.
Yep.
They haven't revealed a price, but I would imagine it's not going to be terribly cheap. I mean, I know that electric classic cars in Wales, their conversions start at £20,000. So it's going to be upwards from there, I would suggest.
I would hazard a guess at severely upwards.
Yeah, because they ECC have done a few DeLoreans. Well, they've done two that I know of. But these guys are saying they can provide this, this complete drop-in, fully reversible kit. I think it's a really good thing, but I can't imagine it's going to be. It's not a huge market, is it?
No, it's not. It's not a huge market. There's not an infinite supply of DeLoreans, but
there is not. Their CEO has said, I can attest that the car's original Lotus engineered suspension is more than up to the task of handling the newfound torque. The car is fabulous to drive. So,
bold statement.
Very bold statement. So yes, as I say, they haven't revealed how much it's going to cost to convert a DeLorean. I imagine their price will not include the car. You probably have to source that yourself, but nevertheless,
I might have found some prices while I've been flicking about. Apparently it says, while prices depend on the condition of the donor car and rates set by electrogenics partners who install the equipment, the firm said the conversion will cost between £65,000 and £85,000 plus taxes.
Okay.
So that's up there.
That is up there. I mean, you can pay that much for a DeLorean on its own now. It would not be. It's not unheard of to see prices of sort of 50k upwards now for a DeLorean.
Have to be a bloody good one.
Well, yes. Yes, I mean they're not all good ones.
No, some are shite.
But if you take the car in decent condition, I mean that's a lot, isn't it?
That's big money.
That is big money. Yeah. That's a little bit disappointing that it's quite. But I'm going to say I think ECC will do it for less than that. So I don't know what Electrogenics powertrain would give you over the system that ECC puts together. The system that ECC puts together is all Tesla. It's Tesla batteries and Tesla motors, primarily out of Model S.
Right.
So
Okay.
they only really use Tesla stuff at ECC. So presuming this isn't Tesla stuff, it'd be interesting to sort of see what the differences are. But I do think it's a good candidate for doing it.
Yeah.
No question. But I think you could probably get it done for less than that.
You probably could. The pictures I've seen do look nice. The car seems well prepared. The gubbins look well suited.
Yeah,
it's just, it looks like a nice job, but blimey, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a DeLorean. Mind you, it's a DeLorean that works.
That's very important.
It is. It's got a critical detail. From what I've seen, they've kept it looking very stock, which is nice. I approve of that. I would not want to be able to tell from the outside that it had been done. In fact, the only thing really that gives it away is that there's no exhaust pipes. I'd be tempted to leave those on if it was mine.
Confuse people.
Yeah, well, and so that it looks standard, even if it's just the end bits.
Just some tailpipes.
Yes, just bolted up underneath. I'd be tempted to leave the tailpipes in place. Yeah, I think that would be quite good.
It would be quite funny.
Yeah, I think I would do that if that was me. But it looks like a nice job, as you say. So interesting that they've chosen to kind of launch themselves with the DeLorean, which is going to be a very small market, but I guess maybe it's a proof of concept.
Maybe
in a classic car that people are not really going to object to being converted, because the original engine was a bit cack. So yes, it was the wrong engine in the wrong place.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, it's
interesting.
Yeah. We'll see how well they get on. Oh God, in other car news, I read something awful.
Awful. Oh.
I knew we both know it's coming. But there've been some teaser pictures of the Ford Capri.
Oh no.
And it's being called an electric coupe SUV.
Oh.
No, it's like you can't have both of those together, I'm afraid.
No, you can't. But no, BMW tried that with the X6. It looks ridiculous.
It looks awful.
They've ruined the Puma. Don't ruin the Capri as well.
Yep, that's buggered.
Oh dear, why are they come up with a new name? Why do they have to reuse the name?
I don't know.
Have we got any pictures, or are we just?
It's very much teaser images of a headlight and a brake light, with a hint of roof line. So in isolation, you go, all right, looks a bit like a car, but you can't get a sense of the scale or the perspective. It's just awful. Ford needs to jog on.
They do, don't they? Yeah, they do with that sort of thing. I'm not happy with that. That's not on. That's not on.
Yeah, they'll still buy it.
Yeah, people will. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, presumably it's going to be bigger than the Puma.
Who knows?
Or is it going to replace the Puma? Oh, I don't know. I mean, the Puma's doing so well, annoyingly. I'd be surprised if they were to replace it, but I would guess it's going to be bigger.
I'm just having a little skim now to see if there's any sort of mention, but No, don't say.
Didn't say. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye on that, but that's disappointing.
No, there you go. It's interesting. It's going to be twinned with the new Explorer, and it's based on the Volkswagen platform.
Oh, okay. Yes, with which the Explorer is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Interesting. You should mention Volkswagen there.
Oh, you beat me to a segue, I think. But yes, go for it.
I'm sorry. I hate to deprive you of a segue. They're electric. Assuming you were going to mention the news this week that Volkswagen are investing heavily in Rivian.
They are, to the tune of $5 billion.
Yes, with the goal presumably of getting them into full-scale mass production, which they have been really struggling with.
Yeah, it was worded carefully, wasn't it? It's to form a joint venture to produce software-defined vehicles together. What does that mean?
Well, I'm guessing it means that, I mean, VW have been quite cozy with, well, they've been quite cozy with Tesla. Their CEO has been quite cozy with Elon.
That'll be his downfall then.
So, yeah, obviously. So, yes, they have been quite careful about that. I imagine they mean they're going to get Rivian's existing product, which is so far as I'm aware, not been shipped outside California, because they are struggling to ramp up. I imagine they will be providing funds and expertise to get that going, and possibly some more vehicles bearing the Rivian name as well.
Yeah, and from what I've read as well, it's they want, I think the software bit is to aid Volkswagen.
Yes, it is an area in which they have struggled, I believe.
Yeah, so they want to build on what Rivian have done.
And from what I've read, VW software, to be honest, needs a complete rewrite.
Yeah, so I get the feeling it's going to be quite Rivian-based software,
yes.
Which is probably good for both companies, because I don't think what Rivian are doing is wrong or bad. I just think they lack the financial clout to get to mass market.
Yeah, I mean, Elon commented on that a while ago in that he said unless they can attract some serious investment, they're not going to get into full-scale mass production. It's just not going to happen. And maybe they've taken heed of those words and gone out and got themselves some serious investment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good for both, because the potential in Rivian is superb.
It's a fantastic product, what they've developed. It's perhaps a little ambitious for a first product. It's they've sort of thrown everything at it, and I think maybe a slightly simpler vehicle to begin with.
Yeah.
But it is quite a thing. It's really well thought out. It's very well put together, but does a lot of it suit mass production? Not sure.
Don't know yet.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Sure.
We'll see.
I mean, Elon, when he was commenting on it, said that one of Tesla's biggest mistakes was making the second vehicle the Model X, because that was a far more complex vehicle with the doors and everything than they were really capable of doing at the time. But they wanted it to be a bit of a showcase, and they kind of threw everything at it. Yeah. But it was too much. The Model 3, being a much simpler, smaller vehicle, was a much better candidate for large-scale mass production. The Model X was just too complicated, and I fear the same thing might be true for Rivian. And maybe some of VW's expertise will be we might have to lose a few features here for this first version.
Yeah.
Just tone it back a bit. All this clever, doors and storage compartments and all that. It's too complicated for mass production. Just stamping out the panels and things for it. It's too complicated. We need to start smaller, maybe just simplify it a bit, and add some of this cleverer stuff back in further down the line.
Yeah, that's fair.
To go. So it'd be interesting to see what's happening there. But as you say, I think it would be good for both companies because they both have areas. They both have different areas in which they have struggled.
Yeah. It could be a joint venture that has superb success.
I hope so.
I hope so, because neither of us are particular VW fans. Not because we're critical of them. It's just not. But
we're just not, and neither of us is particularly pickup truck fans either.
No, but I think that could give VW a much better position in the market around their EVs. So fair play.
I think that could be really good, and certainly in the US, the pickup truck market is enormous.
Oh yeah, massive money.
Yeah, and if they can get a slice of that, where Ford and GM have struggled, shall we say? GM particularly, Ford not quite so much. They did, the Lightning has done quite well, but but again, they have struggled to produce it in the numbers that they need. Ford can't make them quick enough. So if there's something else to choose from in the market, really good. Yeah.
All for it. Can we move on to another German brand?
Well, I suppose so.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on this week around BMW. The M5, the new M5. It's I don't know if I want to say it's caused a stir. It certainly caused some opinions.
Yes.
They've released it. It's all right. It's not as much grill as I was expecting, but
it's not, is it? They've eased it back a bit on the grill front. Yeah.
Yeah, they have. But what they've done is they've given us, for the first time ever, a plug-in hybrid M5.
Yeah.
720 something horsepower. So I think there's a
727.
Oh, yes. Very specific. Yep. So it's still got it's got a 4.4 litre twin turbo V8 and then electric motor. The bit that, the design isn't as bad as some of the other stuff, but it's still not brilliant. One thing that really sort of grates is M5. Yeah, we all get a little misty-eyed for an M5 because it's like it can do many things. It's
all things to all men, as they say.
So we've heard. Yeah. But what doesn't sit well is that this is a 2.5 ton car.
It's heavy, isn't it? It's heavy, whole thing, but it's got a V8 and a load of batteries. So, of course, it's heavy.
Yeah, but that's mad.
Yeah.
That's mad. It
3.5 seconds 0 to 62. That's not particularly special by today's standards.
It's fine.
It's fine. 1,000 Newton meters of torque, they claim. Allegedly, not quite sure why you need that, but
here's something, for instance. So this just sort of highlights how things have changed. So if you go all the way back to 1984.
Oh, I wish we could.
Yeah. Right, many wrongs doing that. So we could go all the way back to 1984, when the first ever M5 graced us with its presence, the E28. Wonderful thing.
That is special.
3.5 litre, straight six, glorious.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just had to, that's one of the old shark nose, isn't it? It's just lovely.
So that is glorious. So in terms of what I was trying to point out, that is let's be honest, a car that is over a ton lighter than the latest one.
Well, that's what you call progress, you see.
I see.
As I say, it's got a V8 and a load of batteries. So it's going to be heavy, isn't it?
But I mean,
yeah, 45 to 46 miles on electric only. Yeah.
It feels like it's lost its DNA a little, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, the M's haven't been M's for a while, have they? Really?
I mean,
is the M5 only available as the hybrid?
Good question. I think so.
Because the pure electric version is the i5M, not M5.
Yeah, that's
the petrol. Just because I'm actually on the BMW website here, the petrol is not called M5. It's just 5 Series. So I think the actual M5, yes, is hybrid. That's it.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So I'm really all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think buy an older one, really.
Well, you'd keep your money for longer as well.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would actually. Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm all right. I'm just. Do you know what? I'm a little bit disappointed.
Because, yeah, I know what you mean.
Because if we look back at what's the outgoing one? It's the F90, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And that I still quite like.
Yes, I get the lure of an M5. I do. I'd want a touring, but that's just me.
That's fair enough. That's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's a choice between an estate and a saloon, I'll have the estate. But yeah, like you say, this new one. But people have been saying this about the M cars for a while now, haven't they? That it's not really, it's not really an M car anymore. They haven't really been an M car for quite some time. But would people say that if there's any electric or hybrid element to it, that M has to be petrol?
See, that I don't think that's the bit that's bothering me.
No, I'd be surprised if that was the bit that was bothering you. But I wonder if other people would think that. Don't know.
Don't know. Well, time will tell, because we all sort of criticise them. Oh God, that new M3 looks a bit iffy. Oh, the M2 looks dreadful, and all they've done is sell like hotcakes.
I know people will buy them anyway because it's BMW. That's kind of just how it is, isn't it? Really.
Which is a shame. I mean, from what we're led to believe, that the M2, for instance, is quite the amazing thing to drive, but at some point you're going to have to look at it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it? Well, an M car has to be good to drive. If it's not good to drive, it has no reason to exist. That's the whole point. Well, they're not lookers, though, are they? And they haven't been for some time. I mean, I'm looking at this new one now. It's all right. They've toned down the grille a bit, but it's still not a looker, is it?
No, I would agree. what we were saying about, I mean, the new one, which is, sorry, I'm back on the M2 again.
Okay.
Like, that's hideous. Let's be honest. But
yeah,
it's got a glorious engine. You could still get it in a manual.
That's important.
That's to be commended. But yeah.
They're available in some nice colours as well, I have to say, having found myself on the BMW website here.
It's odd for a car manufacturer to offer colours these days.
It is, isn't it? This is what's taken me by surprise. They are available in some brilliant colours. That's very unusual these days. I commend them for that. But yeah, they need to back off the grills. They really do.
That is a shame. That's probably an interesting game to play, isn't it, actually?
Well, we do like a configurator, don't we?
We do. It's that fun sort of game of going, right, well, A, can you find a car on there that you like in order to spec up in the first place?
It's a risk.
I'm having a skim now.
I'm having a skim. I'm always drawn to the 3 Series Touring. So let's have a look at a 3 Series M Sport Touring. Here we go.
Well, there is an array of TOS on here, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh, and we're really into TOS here. The BMW i7 M70 X-Drive. Why is it in two-tone TOS?
Oh, God.
That's awful.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that is bad, isn't it? Oh, yeah. No, don't look at that. Just don't look at that. That's not nice.
No, there's a lot of poo there. I'm going to close that because I don't think it's for me right this second. No,
it probably isn't. I don't think either of us is going to rush out and buy a BMW.
No, we're not. Let's be honest. No, that's fine. I'm going to make that go away.
Although, to their credit, at least they still make estate cars.
Yeah, they do. That's interesting you say that. We come back to a little bit of Volvo and an interesting comment that they made.
Okay. This following their current reversal of policy.
Yeah. Due to the resurgence for our estate products in recent months.
This actually brings a question up that Matt asked on our Discord server. Did they ever actually stop selling them in the UK?
That's a really good question.
It is a really good question.
I don't know. I've not.
I know they said they were going to. Did they ever actually get to the point of withdrawing them before they reversed the policy and said they're going to bring them back? But because they've come back with the same models.
Right. Well, based purely on the website of new cars, you cannot currently buy an estate car.
Okay, so perhaps they actually did withdraw them then.
Yeah.
But the ones they're coming back with are not new models.
No, they're models that
same
we've had
ones
before.
that were available before. Yeah.
So
okay, perhaps they actually did do it then. Okay.
So to back up what Volvo said, or so at least partly back it up, someone's done a bit of digging for us, and apparently estate cars have actually made a resurgence in the UK.
That's good.
So sales in the UK rising 16% in the first 4 months of this year.
That's quite significant.
Yeah.
16%, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
There does appear to be sort of actual numbers behind it. So right, when they say there's a resurgence and 16%, so what that means is in the first 4 months of this year, according to this research, it's just over 25,000 estate cars sold in the UK.
Yeah, that is significant. That's a lot. That's
a much bigger number than I was expecting.
Yeah, this is good news.
Yeah, and I've I've seen a few bits and pieces around of late. I wish I could remember the name of the guy. The guy on social media, a UK guy who's bought a V70. The generation after the one I had.
Yeah, I know the one. Yeah, I know the one. Not as good looking as the one you had, in my opinion, but
no, but still, all of the same charm.
Yeah. No, I know exactly the one you mean. Yeah.
So what he was saying is he couldn't. What he was doing is sort of buying it at a price and going, right, I'm going to use this family car.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know what? I don't see how a modern SUV can trump this in any way.
No, well, it can't, as we know.
And he was just sort of making the point of going, I don't follow the trend. He said, I can't understand it. He said, I've tried, but he said, I just can't get the logic behind it.
Well, a very popular reason, of course, is that people give is that they like the higher driving position.
Yeah. People don't think about that though, do they?
No, probably not.
They don't apply that logic and go, actually, is that a good thing?
It's not a good thing for the rest of us, certainly, because you can't see past the bloody things.
No, a point I'd like to approve of going, I parked my car in a car park. When I came back, it had a couple of Hyundai toss wagons either side of it, enormous things. And I got in and went to pull out of the space and go, I genuinely don't know what's happening. I cannot see.
Yeah.
I can't even. It's not like one of those ones where you can go, right, well, I could sort of see through the windows of the car next to me. Not a chance.
Dawn had this week. She went to the supermarket in the MX-5 and I wasn't with her, but she came back to find a massive pickup truck parked right next to her in the space. And like you said, not a chance. The Mazda's roof didn't even come up to the top of this thing's tires.
Yeah, it's just
it's ridiculous. You probably could have popped the Mazda into the load bed.
Yeah, it's just absolutely daft because it wasn't. I'd not made my life difficult. I'd reversed into the parking space, so I was facing forwards. I had the most amount of glass available to me, but I just had no way of seeing if anything was going.
Just nothing. You just have to go for it. Yeah, I know. There's too many of them around, and they don't fit anywhere. I mean, that's that's annoying enough in a car park, but at a junction where you can't see past one. I mean, I get it in the Jag. And that's that's quite a big car. No, that's quite a big car. And there are vehicles I can't see around. So yeah, it's a worry, and I guess maybe that's how it's happened. How we've got to this point is that everybody thinks, I can't see past all these SUVs, so I need to be in one as well.
That's not the way it works. No, you can't. It's just.
That's how America ended up with so many guns.
Yeah, true. Must get one because everyone else has got one. So I'll defend myself too. And
you need several in the house because if you're in the living room and the burglar comes in through the kitchen. Well, obviously you need one in the living room, but if they come in through the bedroom, then you need one in there.
Yeah.
If they're coming through the garage, you need one in there, probably a shotgun.
Easily,
yeah. And you end up with 6 guns in every room.
Yeah.
Drawers full of them.
Safety first, yeah.
Safety first. Yeah, and then your 3-year-old gets hold of one and blows your head off. But it happens. But yeah, SUVs are one of the reasons I hear is the high driving position. That's certainly a reason that gets given for why you might want one.
But again, people don't think about it. What do you want when you're driving? A higher center of gravity. So in an incident, you want to be more likely to have a tipping.
Yes, more likely to fail the elk test. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
No, don't follow it. It's just, and it's like, what's really annoying as well. Like my parking incident was like I parked as far away from the general population as I could.
Oh, yeah. This has always been the case.
And it was not a busy car park.
Mm.
And I came back and went, oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, right next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, well, and I'm assuming the logic behind that is they go, well, I can't line up against an empty space. Let's line up against a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're so far up in the air they can't actually see the line on the ground.
No.
So, yeah.
Useless. No,
it's a weird phenomenon, isn't it? But I am encouraged by the increase in sales of estate cars.
Yeah, that's massive. Well done. Well done, general population. More of that, please.
More of that, please. You should remember that estate cars are better. Although I have to say, and I am perhaps putting my head in the lion's mouth here.
Oh no!
I haven't done a buy. Don't worry.
Let's see, go on. Where's this going?
I did find myself earlier in the week looking at L322 Range Rovers on Auto Trader. Just part of my evening browsing, like we all do.
I mean, it's ballsy.
Yes.
It really is. I mean, if you don't like your money, that's fine.
I was just looking, just seeing where we're at,
Yeah. I mean, they can be acquired for not obscene money.
I was surprised how low they've gone, actually. Yeah.
But it does come with its own headaches, obviously.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Because
it does.
Kaylee and I had finally caught up with the world and watched the latest series of Clarkson's Farm, and you see him cruising around in his one.
Oh, well, his L322 does feature quite heavily, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, indeed.
It's a proper workhorse. I mean, granted, he's got more than enough funds for the upkeep of it. But
yes, although when he did that review video with Harry, who has an identical one, he said the only thing he's had to do to it is replace the turbos in 17 years of owning it.
Not too bad, really.
No, I think Harry was similar. Not had to do a huge amount to it. I think it depends. Well, it depends, like any car, doesn't it? It depends which one you get. The L322 seems to be less prone to disaster than some of the others.
Yeah.
But I was just looking. That's,
If it were me, I'd still have a Land Cruiser, but there you go.
I know you would. Yes, I know, and I actually had that in my mind when I was looking at it. Adam wouldn't buy this.
No, that's it. You go.
Adam would not buy this.
Wouldn't condone it, and you would sit there and moan at me because I've not bought a Land Cruiser. Yeah, so that's exactly it. I'm glad you've internalised me.
No, that's what we can't look at Auto Trader now without hearing your voice. Usually disapproving, not always.
Step away from the mouse, dickhead.
Yes. Exactly that. Yes. Yeah. Yes, there are certain things that I look at that you'd be. I mean, I was looking at a V12 XJS earlier in the week.
Perfect. Well, that's all right by me. So.
Oh, you'd be right on board with that. Yes, I know. I realise.
Yeah, not a problem. Don't you worry about that.
They've come down in price.
Interestingly,
yeah. XJSs have definitely come down in price because this was a really late one. It wasn't a celebration model, but it was getting up there. It was a 90 or a 91.
Okay, yeah, that is quite late.
Yeah, 6-litre V12 in red with a cream interior.
Nice.
The dark cherry red, not the bright red. It had done some mileage and it needed a bit of work, but nothing major. It had an MOT.
Well, there you go. That's not to be snubbed.
And there wasn't that long ago, something like that would have been up around 20 grand, but they have come right down now. I don't remember the exact price, but it was less than 10.
Oh,
yeah.
It's not too bad. I mean, but like you say, if it needs a bit of work, that could be a bit of a money pit. I mean, I could see you in it.
Oh, I think it could work. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I'd love an XJS. I have been in a few over the years, and they are quite special.
Mind you, the older we get now, look at an XJS and go, how easy are we fitting in those?
Yes, I know that's the concern. The XJS is a big car. The cabin is tiny.
It's
a
real
really
problem.
Cramped.
Yeah,
really cramped because it's very, very low.
Oh yeah.
There's no leg room in it for a car as big as it is. The cabin is minuscule.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bonnet and a fair amount of boot, and then the bit in the middle is very.
Yes, the seating area is not its largest area. No, as I say, I have been in a few over the years. They are cramped. Yeah, nice bits of kit. The windscreen feels very close to you. It's a very short dash and a very upright windscreen. You really feel very hemmed in it. But they are lovely things. They are lovely. But I was surprised, particularly for a 12, that the prices have definitely come down. But I'd probably still favour an XK over an XJS.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just a different set of issues then, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Yeah. It's a whole new set of problems.
Yeah. It's fine.
No, that was my Auto Trader browsing this week. L322 Range Rovers and V12 XJSs. It was Johnny's car cave video this week that set me off.
Oh, that was filth.
That was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something for everyone in there, wasn't it?
Oh, there really was. There really was something for everyone. Yeah. She got a V12 XJ40 sitting next to a DeLorean. I mean, I'm gone at that point.
Yeah, that's it. You're spent. Me with me XJ220.
XJ220 and Toyota S2000. I mean, come on, nobody has a right to all those in one place.
What I was massively impressed with was the mileage on the XJ220.
Yes, 19,000 miles.
Staggering. Fair play to her.
That's incredible. Yes. That's incredible. I know her mechanic has a go at her for using it and taking it out in the rain. And
well, yeah, I mean,
well, it's a car. I'm going to drive it.
The trouble is, but you'd think he'd be all right with it because it was Don Law who she mentioned, and he's the only person who looks after XJ220s. He is the Messiah. Yeah. So I don't really understand why he's criticising, because it's just more work for him.
Well, quite exactly. She says they're expensive to service. I mean,
they're going to be obscene. That engine must be a nightmare to look after.
Yeah. Especially if she's doing 19,000 miles in it.
Well, it's a glorified 6R4 engine. In 6R4 variety, those cars are famously fragile and need an awful lot of maintenance just to keep them going. To use that as your base engine, my goodness me.
And she's actually using it and doing proper mileage in it. So, I imagine he's doing quite well out of that.
Yeah. Well, I think he's doing quite well out of them in general, because he looks after, I think, all of them.
Yes, she did say. Yes, he looks after all her cars. Yeah.
Oh, as in all XJ220s.
Oh, all the XJ. No, yeah, well, both. Yeah, yeah, indeed. Yeah,
he's a safe pair of hands. But yes, she's a lady we can get on board with, I think.
That's what set me off. That sent me right off the Auto Trader. That did. I just had to start looking at stuff.
I love that Land Cruiser she had as well.
Yeah. That was lovely. Yeah, and automatic as well, which is
also
very unusual.
Very Japanese spec. Had the curtains at the back and everything.
Yeah, I
Lovely.
noticed that. Yes. Brilliant.
But yeah, that'd be a bit of me. If I had to have two of her cars, I'd have the Land Cruiser and an XJ220. That'll do me.
That would do you, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would do you. Yes, I'd have that XJ40 V12 and the DeLorean.
That looked. Well, both of those look lovely. Actually, they were in very good order. I mean, she's clearly looking after them.
Yes. Well, she's clearly looking after all their stuff. But yeah, that incredible collection, absolutely incredible. And if you haven't watched it, dear listener, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, because I recognise
the best ones he's done.
I recognise the 2000 GT because it was the one that Chris Harris borrowed on Top Gear when they were doing Bond cars.
Yeah, well, there aren't many to choose from. Let's be honest.
And it was very distinct. I mean, the plate's distinctive, but it being a bright red one, that's not as common as. Well, you normally see them in white, don't you?
You normally see them in white in the Bond colour. Yeah, I'm surprised Johnny didn't mention the Bond connection there, actually. But I know technically the Bond one was convertible, but
but
the Bond one was the convertible.
Yeah. It's not like they were offered to anyone. It's just to get a lanky Scotsman in it.
It was.
Yes. But yeah, you're right. Definitely go and watch that. So, with your Auto Trader browsing, was that idle browsing?
It was really. I mean, I'm still undecided as to how long I'll keep my sport brake. It's just too useful having an estate car at the moment. But
yeah, I know what you mean. I'm feeling that pinch every now and then.
Yes, I imagine.
But it does come into its own every now and then, like when we had to go to IKEA and go, well, you can't buy much.
There is that advantage in having a small hatchback. Yes.
Yeah. It's fine.
But it was idle browsing. The L322 Range Rover. Yeah, I suppose if I'm honest, I do quite fancy one, but I probably wouldn't pull the trigger.
What's a shame? You think that week's worth of content we'd get out of you buying a knackered old Range Rover.
But absolutely, if we could monetize this nonsense, I'd probably pay for the repairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You could fix one air suspension sag a week, I reckon.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's probably where we should sort of leave it. We've never sort of begged or borrowed or stolen money, but I tell you what, I think it's probably time to start raising the funds so that we can get you a Range Rover and revel in the misery.
It's all we'd ever talk about.
Yeah. I'd like that.
How's it going this week? Oh, it's broken again.
Yeah. It was perfect. We wouldn't have to think of anything to say.
It's true.
Okay.
It's true. Yeah. How's the Range Rover?
That's it. And all I have to do is sit back and relax at that point.
You do. Yeah, you wouldn't have to come up with any content ideas at all ever again.
No, barely have to speak. It's perfect, really. Yeah. Okay, well that's good then. Right, let's see if we can make that happen. Let's raise you some funds to get a Range Rover. And while the money's pouring in, you still need to do your woolarding on the MX-5, please.
I do. You're right. I've been slack on that.
Okay, yes. That's fine. So weather's apparently going to be nice at the weekend. So get yourself out there. Get yourself out there. Get your foot up on it. And that's what I want to be posting on the gram in the next week, please.
Well, I've replenished my Maguire's collection, so I can give it a good polish, and then I'll because it's it was cleaned by the dealer, so you can imagine what that's like. So it needs it's Swirl City. So I'll give it a good seeing to, and then I'll pop the old foot in there. I know that sounds wrong.
Oh God! Quick, wrap it up. You'll do a Woolard. Yes,
I will. That.
Yeah, lovely.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.